Hey guys, Amy here with Hellbound Designs and Sublimation and More. In this Amy show, I'm going to show you how I went from this image to this beautiful mock-up image. So let's get started. In this quick video tutorial, I'm just going to show you how I would effectively get rid of the background, which is going to be the wood on this one, and the background on this one, and the background on this one. Alright, I'm going to choose to do this one first. The first thing you need to do is when you open it, you need to unlock the image. Double click on this background layer and that'll unlock it. Alright. The next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of all this white. So I'm going to come up here to my selection tool, and you need to left click it if you don't have your quick selection tool selected. Alright, and that will give you more options. That's the same for everything in this toolbar. So I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to do it very quickly. You don't have to be perfect unless you just want to be. And you can edit the settings on these to make it take more out, but this is a good setting for me. So the refine edge, you can see what it's selecting. Alright, and you can see up there's a little bit that wasn't selected. For the most part, it's really good. So you can play with these settings on how much you want it to feather. See, we don't want that. The contrast. Okay, you can just play with all those total settings. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and then I'm going to create a mask from this. So if you do click on here next to the FF button and do add layer mask. Okay, so what that does is that gets rid of the background you chose, but it's still there if you need to add more. This is perfect for when you're erasing stuff and you erased a little too much, maybe your button flipped or whatever, so you can add it back. Alright, so you see how quick that was? Oops. I'm going to zoom in, and up at the top I didn't have enough erase. Now how you continue adding, taking away, or adding from the mask, you must utilize black and white as your brush colors. Okay, you don't have black and white, click on this little default and it chooses it. Now white, I believe, and you need your brush, so do a regular brush tool. You can do a square or round. Now if white adds back, okay, black will take away. So I'm just going to zoom in, and I think what I want to do is I'm going to add back a little bit here, just so I don't have any jagged edges. Alright, and then I'm going to take away. This may be a little unproductive, but that's how I do to make sure I get a smooth cut. See how it's a little jagged around all these edges, and I just did a straight line down. How you do that is you click in one spot, so you hold down you click right here, hold down your shift key, while holding it down go all the way up to the top, and click again, and it makes a straight line. Okay, I'm just going to undo that for a minute. Now you could do the same thing with erasing. So I'm just going to take my black here, and I'm going to click really close to it, and there we go. And we got a good, nice straight line there. I'm going to continue doing this all the way around. And the reason why is you see that jagged edge right there. I just don't want any jagged edges. I don't want it to look like we photoshopped it, okay? We want it to be natural. So I just added a little back, and I'm going to take a little away. And for this I choose to use a solid brush versus a soft brush, because you can use a soft brush, a feathered like brush, but I choose to use this so it removes good. Alright, now same again, I'm just going to add. I know it seems redundant here, but I'm doing it because, oops, sorry about that. And just to make sure we get everything added back, and it didn't quite work the way I wanted to on that one. There we go. So now I might have to do this one in sections just because of the way it's angled. So I'm just going to go like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. And then we'll go around and check it in a minute. Now again, you see how this looks choppy over here? I'm going to get over there. So you see that looks photoshopped. I don't like that look. So I'm going to add to it and then take away again. Just to give it a nice smooth edged. And you might adjust your brush because if you have it too big, that's what could make it look, oops, that's what could make it look a little choppy. And sometimes maybe a little, soft brush would work better. So you're just going to have to play with it. But it looks really good now, except for down here again. So I'm just going to, and it's really important to make sure you do this is take your time. At the same time, I'm showing you how to be efficient by doing it with the layer mask. So I think this looks really good. All right. And now that we're done, we can, you can leave the layer mask if you're unsure, but I usually just apply the layer mask. So you right click on the mask and hit apply layer mask, and now it makes it one image to work with. Now you could add a background. Let's see what we got here. Open, more place, file, place. Let's find a background. Maybe a kitchen background, which I may not have. Okay, so I don't have a kitchen background. Let's go with a kitchen background. Okay. Go with images. Remember, this should be okay as long as it's for display. And you don't want one that's copyrighted. And you do want one that's going to be high settings. So go, if you click on settings, do search settings. Oops, what the heck? I'm sorry, click on more, no, go click on tools, I'm sorry, tools, and then do larger than 1024 by 728. Let's see this one. Okay, let's view this image. This might be good because it has a nice background. I mean, it's blurred out, but we're going to try a different couple ones in case we don't like that. Okay. That one was copyrighted. And this idea, this kitchen idea may not be the best idea, so we're just going to try it out and see what it looks like. Copyrighted. We don't want to take that one. I'm just trying to see. No, not that one. Alright. I had a nice kitchen one somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it. This one might be nice. Alright. Ah. Okay, so I'm wasting a lot of time trying to find images here. Just bear with me. And you can always take a picture of your own kitchen if you wanted to do that, and then add your... I had a really nice one, and I don't know what I did with it. Alright, so let's just try the one I have and see, and let's go from there. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to open that background, wherever it may be. Oh, and it was, okay. So, now I don't know how realistic this looks, but now if you wanted to, we could add a soft shadow on there to make it look realistic. So let's image adjustments. So I did my auto tone to kind of brighten it and bring it some pop. And then we're going to do another layer, so you'd add another layer, but move it below this one, and we're going to do a nice shadow. So a gray will work. I would go with probably a black and then just tone it down. So you'll want to take your opacity and turn it down, and we'll start from there. And then we'll want to see what size my... Alright, so what we're doing is we're just giving it a nice little shadow. And that's not working. We need it darker. And the shadow may not work on this, so just bear with me. Go a different one. So you just play around with this, and actually let's go with a gray because that probably work out better. Nope, it doesn't. Alright, let's go with. So I don't think a shadow would look good on this, so I'm going to ignore that. But if we were doing a solid white background, which I'll show you where the shadow will come in handy. Then you would want to do your shadow. Oops. Okay, that's not working either. Oh, my brush is, there we go. That's my problem. You have to have a feathered brush, so make sure you grab that, turn your opacity down just a tad, and you're just gonna, remember, you just want it to look like you're shadowing it. Now, I would go a little lighter than that, so I'm gonna turn my opacity down just a tad bit more. And it kind of, see, it just gives it a shadow look like from the light. Now let's see what happens if we turn this on. There we go. So that looks a lot better. And again, see the shadow it gives it right there? And once you make the shadow, if you want to make it a little darker, you want to erase from it, you can do that. Oops. And you'd want a soft brush, not a hard brush when you're taking away. See? And also to help with the take away by taking it back just in segments. So you want it to be as natural as possible. If you took too much away, you could go ahead and just add it back. Maybe go with a lower opacity. Okay, so there's how you give yourself a natural shadow on the box. Okay, and that just makes it look like it's from light. Alright, another thing you can do is add a little bit of blur to that shadow and to the edges of the boxes. So it looks like the box was not just placed on top of there. You need to have a blur. And my strength is not up. So we're going to turn your strength all the way up, and you're going to blur the edges and see how it's blending in with the background. And you want to do that for all the edges all the way around. I've showed you guys this before, and when I do my cutouts of people, that it is very vital that you blur the edges because it just blends it in. It's a simple little trick to do to make it look more natural, part of its background environment. Okay. And again, you can blur more of the shadow out. Do it in a single swoop. Alright, and if you still feel like, I still feel like I have a little too much shadow, I'm going to take my opacity down a little bit and just erase a little tiny bit over it. There we go. We want it to be kind of natural looking. So there we go. It looks like it's actually sitting on there. I would do the same for all the other images, but for this one, this is pretty much how you do it. I hope I helped you guys and showed you how to create something unique by using your own images and making it look professional. Cutting out the background is not as complicated as it seems. You don't even need it in a light box if you don't want to. The thing is put it up against something that is a different color. So if your box is brown like this, put it against a white background. If your item is white, put it against a black background. Even if it's a towel, a blanket, anything like that, just put it up there, because then it makes it easier for you guys to get rid of the background using the magic eraser or the masking feature the way I did here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and feel free to comment. Thank you.